All praises to the Most High, all praises to the Most High. Blessed be our Father, Yahuwah Almighty. Blessed be the Ruach HaKodesh and our Messiah, Yahushua. Greetings, Yazar'al. Of course, I have another message to share with the listening ears of Yah's people worldwide. And family, this one here will be entitled, Signs of Our Messiah's Return. Shemites, Yazar'al will be glorified. And you will see in this message, family, okay, why is our Messiah coming back? Okay, he's coming back to execute the judgment of Father Yah against the nations who have been oppressing his people ever since they've been on top of us. That's one of the things that he's coming back to do. And he's coming back to compensate us for all that we have suffered from the nations all these centuries that have been on top of us. And then he's also coming back to set up his kingdom in the earth and rule the nations for 1,000 years, family. And during that time, it's when Shemites, Yazar'al, will be glorified. We will even have power over evil spirits. You will see that in this message. I'll be coming out of the 66 family and the testament of the 12 patriarchs, the testament of Simeon is in here. I'll be reading a couple of verses out of that. But that will be in closing. But before I get off into the message, family, please listen to some of this beautiful song right here. It's called Sing to the Most High by Yashar'al. Sing to the Most High a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm has worked salvation for him. The Father has made his salvation known and revealed his righteousness to the nations. He has remembered his love and his faithfulness to Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Shout for joy to the Father, all the earth burst into jubilant song. The King. Let the sea resound and everything in it. The world and all who live in it. Let the rivers clap their hands and let the mountains sing together for joy. Let them sing before the Most High. To judge the earth, he will judge the world in righteousness and the peoples with equity. It's amazing, the lyrics and the songs and the melodies the Ruach HaKodesh give to people to perform, to compose, to sing, to glorify our Father, because he deserves all the honor, the glory, and the praise for the family. Yes, he does. He's earned it. He deserves it. All of our honor, all of the glory, all of the praise we can give him. He deserves it. Okay, family. Let me get into it now. Okay, now I'll be coming out first of the 66 from the book of Matthew. And the Ruach led me to do a message pertaining to this because somebody made a comment on one of my videos recently. Okay, I think I was saying something in the video that the only thing the Father has kept from the Son is that the day He's going to send Him back to the earth. And somebody made a comment, well, since nobody knows, maybe if we all just continue to cry out to the Father, they don't have Him to send our Messiah back. That's a good response because, you know, when our family of ancestors was in Egypt, Egyptian bondage and Babylonian bondage and Assyrian bondage, Medo-Persia and all the nations that had our people captive, you look through the scriptures, it does says that out of all the oppression and the things that they suffered, they often cried out to our Father. You know, they ended up in those conditions because of sin, but then it says in scripture, like when they was in Egyptian captivity first, they cried out to our Father constantly, and He raised up Moses. So whoever made that comment, and the people, she had about a few people that, agree with her. So that is a good way to, because that is scripture. You know, we, as our people cried out to our Father when they was in bondage in different countries and different situations during their captivities, they often cried out to our Father and had repentant hearts, and He raised up leaders to deliver them, leaders from our own people. Okay, so but as Yah's disciples asked our Messiah on the Mount of Olives, you know, what will be the sign of some of these things and what will be the sign of the end of the world. So this is where I'm going to pick it up at Matthew chapter 24 from verses 1 to 14 first. It says, and Yahusha went out and departed from the temple, and His disciples came to Him for to show Him the buildings of the temple. And Yahusha said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Okay, so He's saying to His disciples, you know, that that temple, not one stone will be upon another. They will all be thrown down. So whatever they call themselves, doing all this stuff to, you know, the Wailing Wall over there in the so-called Israel, the state of Israel, that's not the temple that our Messiah was referring to when He was talking to His disciples. Because He said, every stone will be thrown down. Not 1/4 of the building still standing, or people will later come and pray over it, or wear to call it, you know what I'm saying? That's so, you know, it's just hogwash. They're just doing anything to impress the world, to make people think that they are Yah's chosen people, but they are not. Okay, so verse 3 says this, family. And as He sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto Him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahusha answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Like a lot of people around the world claiming to be Yazar'al, but they're not. Okay, you'll see as we get into this message, it will also show scriptures exactly who His chosen people are and who His people are not. Okay, stick with me, family. Verse 5 says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, just like what's going on now with America, Iran, and the state of Israel, and Russia, Ukraine, and also North Korea has sent thousands of troops to help out the Russians fight the Ukrainians. And we'll talk about that a lot on the news, but North Korea is also fighting against Ukraine with Russia. And then you got some stuff going on in the South China Sea. China wants to take over Taiwan, but Taiwan wants their independence. and they're doing drills in the South China Sea because they constantly thinking that China's going to try to take them over. And then, so also in the Middle East, things in Egypt has been struck with drones. So the war is kind of expanding to other countries. Bahrain, okay, the Houthis are in it. Saudi Arabia, they're in it. You know what I'm saying? So in the book of Revelation, family, chapter 16, if you read it yourself, it says that, you know, these evil spirits gathered the world's nations together. It says, and they gathered them together. So people are not in control. These leaders and these armies, they think they are. But see, behind the scenes in the spirit realm, Yah is using evil spirits to gather the world's nations and their armies, you know, in that area, because that's where he's going to judge all of them. What's going on right now, is that the time that these things are planned, getting ready to play out? Time will tell, family. But, you know, that area is where, you know, the nations will be judged. Okay, as I continue, family. And ye shall wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Okay? For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, food shortage, and pestilence, which is diseases, and earthquakes in different places. They had an earthquake in Colombia this morning, a 7.4 earthquake. So these things, you know, it says, be not, you know, troubled, for these things must happen. Okay, it's like a woman is having birth pains, you know, but it's not time for her to deliver until her water breaks. Okay, that's what's going on in the world. These wars and rumors of war, these earthquakes in different places, and these things like that, these judgments Yah is sending to the nations right now. These things must be for Yazar'el. You know, we shouldn't be troubled about them, but it's getting close to the end. Okay, as I continue, all these are the beginnings of sorrows. That's like a woman having birth pains because she's getting close to be ready to deliver her baby when the water breaks. Okay, so he's going to give them the ultimate sign to let them know, okay, what to be looking for. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Okay, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall arise. You got many false prophets has arisen during these days. Like I just mentioned a moment ago, that you got a lot of people still claiming to be our chosen people, but they're not. You know, they come on our channels and listen to what we're talking about, and then they try to act like they got the information, and they teach people who are naive and don't know no better, and they keep listening to them. Okay, so then you got some Negroes, you know, claiming people all over the world, Israelites, but actually those people that they're claiming, their ancestors enslaved the ancestors of the Negroes in the nations where they are. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay? And see, Yah knows where everybody is at. You know, he's coming to repay all these nations for oppressing and doing his people like they have been doing us for all these centuries. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody going to escape nothing. He knows exactly who are Israelites, who are clinging to us, and the people who certain black people are claiming to be Yazar'el have not really repented of what their ancestors has done to our ancestors. So, but Yah, he knows. So he's going to give everybody what they've earned and what they deserve. Okay. Anyway, as I continue, family, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel, this good news of the kingdom, shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then shall the end come. Okay, so that's when the water breaks, when the water of the spirit of this word, you know, breaks forth into all nations. When all nations has heard the good news of this gospel, then shall the end come. So we who are teaching y'all's word, we just, as long as we have breath in us, let's just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, but you got people working for Satan that try to stop the algorithm from allowing many more people to reach these messages and see and hear these messages, because they hinder us from getting more likes. They hinder us. They remove comments, so that alters the algorithm from sending the word out to even more people. But Yah is going to repay them for all of that, because we're just working with servants of Yah, doing his work, okay, teaching his word to the nations and all who want to hear it. Okay, so those people who try to come against us, act like they really hindering us from doing something, actually what they're doing, they're interfering with the work of Yah. And he will repay every last one of them, all those who work for YouTube and hinder our videos by hiding likes, shadow banning comments and stuff like that. You know, he's going to pay them all back. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see in the end of this message exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, now that's all I want to read from Matthew chapter 24. Now, family, I'll be going down to Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. And when our Father sends our Messiah back, you know, everybody will see him coming. You know, like even 40 years ago, that would have been impossible. But now you got, knowledge has increased, just like it says in the book of Daniel. You got people with laptops, tablets, phones, you know, television sets, social media everywhere. So, you know, now it's possible for everybody to see him coming back. So Yah is already ahead of everything. Everything is predestined. He knows the end before the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So he knows who's got blessings coming, and he knows who got his curses coming. He already knows that. Okay, before the foundation of the world, he already knew these things. Family, Revelation chapter 1, verse 7 to 8, it says this: Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said the Adonai, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Okay, so he's being sent back by the Father to execute the Father's wrath against the nation for what they have done to his chosen people, Yazar'al. Like I said, we will be compensated, and he will have his recompense against all the nations who have oppressed us, kidnapped, raped, robbed, and murdered us for all these centuries. You know, they think they're getting away with something. They don't even think they need to apologize, most of them, for what has happened to our people all these centuries. But when a war get ready to break out in this fucking country, you know what I'm saying, they always want the young men to sign up for a draft. I even did it when I was 17 years old, back in 1981. You know what I'm saying? But when something bad happens to us, they want us to like forget about it. You know, get over it. You know what I'm saying? But Yah has gotten our back. He's got our back, family. He's going to take care of all those. Vengeance is mine, says the Adonai. He's going to take care of all of them. Okay, family. Joel chapter 3, verse 1 to 17. And it says here, family, For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I also will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Yashar'al. See, that's why Father is sending our Messiah back, because of what they have been doing to his chosen people for all these centuries. They've been on top of us. The scripture, okay? Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Now, can the people in Israel now calling themselves Jews, can they claim that this has happened to them in their history, that they were scattered all over the world? Of course not. So they are perpetrating the true Israelites. Same thing with those who from Pasadena, California, out west, you know, call themselves the Tomorrow's World, the Worldwide Church of God. That book, United States and Great Britain and Prophecy, they claim that Gentiles from Europe, Western Europe, you know, and Canada and the United States, you know, are the lost 10 tribes of Yazar'al. Have they been scattered around the world and sold to all nations? I do not think so. So they are not who these scriptures are talking about. It's talking about the people of the world called Negroes. We're the only people who have been sold, taken from our land against our will, our ancestors will, and their offsprings will, and sold around the nations, and all the nations got rich off of Israelite commodity. You know, they call us Negroes. That means black. Okay, we can accept that. You know what I'm saying? But as scripture teaches, this has happened to the people of the world called Negroes. You read the history books. This has happened to nobody else but us. And they refuse to, you know, acknowledge it, but they only just bringing more detriment to them, to themselves. When our Father sent our Messiah back, you know, since they won't acknowledge the truth of what has happened to Yah's chosen people, you know, just get ready for that recompense and that retribution he has against all the nations for what they have been doing to us. They don't have to apologize to me or my people at all. Even if they did, it's still going to bring the Yah's judgments down on them. That's just something that won't be stopped. It can't be stopped no matter how much they pray. Even though we prayed for them, that it stopped. It's already written. It is already written. Check it out as I continue. And they have cast lots for my people. They already did these things, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. This happened to our ancestors. I used to get drunk, and it was just all folly to them. You know, okay, you take this nigga wench here. You know, give me a bottle of that scotch over there, boy. You can have this wench. They get drunk and they would do things like this, cast lots for our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? It was just all a big joke to them. They were sitting in the seat, if you let them tell it, as God against our people. They've never had to suffer what they have done to our people. But Yah has his angels taking down notes and writing reports about everything that they have done to his people. Read the book of Enoch, the first book in Enoch, up around chapter 89 and on. And it'll tell you that, you know, Yah had his angels all the time writing down reports about what the 70 shepherds, the Gentile nations, were doing to the sheep. That would be Yazar'el. And were allowed to kill so many of us, but it says in those scriptures that they went way overboard. They did some stuff that Yah did not tell them to do. So they all have judgments coming. It depends on how harsh they have treated Yah's people. Verse 4 says this, Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? That's a question he's saying. And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. He's telling them, you know, I will repay you swiftly and speedily. It might seem like a long time to us, a few hundred years, a couple of centuries, you know what I'm saying? But to Yah, that's swiftly, because he's eternal. You know what I'm saying? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, all the gold that this country got, you know, and Kentucky, what they call it, Fort Knox down there, England, you know, another country, you know, there's no gold under the ground in that country, but they have the first or the second largest reserves of gold in the world. So all this stuff they stole. And when they came and raided our people when we were still in the land, you know, they took everything from our people, you know, and the gold belonged to our Father. Everything belongs to him, but they took it from Yazar'el. And he's going to repay them all back, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children of Judah and of Jerusalem. Talking about Yazar'el, the so-called Negroes, the world call us, have ye sold unto the Grecians. He's reminding them, all these things that you did to my people, I haven't forgotten it. That's why he had his disciples and his prophets write these scriptures to let the world know, you know what I'm saying? Everything has been documented. Okay, so now we in these last days today, you know, he raising up Yazar'el, you know, to share this knowledge to the world. You know what I'm saying? They don't touch scriptures like this in Sunday churches. I was in 5 of them for 17 different years. They don't even read these scriptures. They'll read about a verse or two from the New Testament, and then the pastor will talk about 45 minutes to an hour. And that's church. And everybody swear down, they've been blessed. You know what I'm saying? But Yah wants us to know what his word is saying. As I continue, family, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them. We was the only ones sold around the world in every nation. And the other nations got rich off of selling Negroes. That ain't happened to no people, the fake perpetrating Jews in Israel, nor the Gentiles, tomorrow's world church, claiming to be the 10 tribes of Israel. That has never happened to them. They have been on top since King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. That was back in BC. The Gentiles been on top ever since. And you let them tell it. Herbert W. Armstrong used to say that these scriptures is talking about the future. No, they not. They tell this stuff happened as far as like what happened in Deuteronomy 28. He was saying if the United States and Britain don't take heed to Father God, that these things is going to happen to them. No, that already happened to his chosen people, the people the world call Negroes. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, as I continue, I digress, okay? And will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Yehudah. That will be us. He's going to sell their offspring to us. But that hasn't happened yet. That people haven't been sold to us yet. That's talking about in the future, when he judged the nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat. As I continue, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For the Adonai has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. He's telling Yazar'al, proclaim this among the Gentiles. So I hope some of y'all are listening. Okay, because he's telling us, our Father's telling us to proclaim this to the Gentiles. Remember what I just read in Matthews? And the gospel, this gospel shall be preached in all the world. Okay, and then the end shall come. So he wants his word to go out to all nations. And you got knuckleheads trying to stop the algorithms from this word reaching more people. You know what I'm saying? But they cursing themselves to our Father. Be my guest. Okay? Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into sword. He said, get prepared to fight. But that's just some sarcasm coming from him. Because you know, the nations ain't got nothing coming when it comes to him. Okay, and your pruning hills into spears. Let the weak say that I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. He's talking about the nations. That's what that word means. Nations, heathen. Prepare yourselves. That's in the valley of Jehoshaphat. He's got the evil spirits stirring up the nations now. That's why, you know, they can't solve the problems that they got with the Persian Gulf, because they're not in control. The things in the spirit realm is in control of this physical world and what moves it along. The spirit world is in control. Father Yah, he's the Father. He controls everything. Even evil spirits work for him. And we know the good angels work for our Father Yah. You know what I'm saying? But everything is, his purposes will be worked out in the earth just as he intends for it to be. Okay? And can't nobody do nothing to stop it, because everything was predestined. You already know what's going to happen next month. You already know what's going to happen 2 years from now, 10 years from now. He already knows all that. See, in the spirit realm, everything is right now. There is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday in the spirit realm. Everything is right now in eternity. The present is in eternity. The past and the future is all right there. So our Father, he's already there. We got to wait for days to pass in the physical realm. But in the spirit realm, it's not like that. He's already ahead of the end of this world. He's already ahead. Even the beings in the spirit realm, they're already there. You know what I'm saying? We just waiting for stuff to happen. But they are already there, family. Can't nothing stop it, okay? I don't care how many weapons these Gentile nations have. They cannot stop the plan of Yah. They cannot stop the judgments of Yah either for what they have been doing to his chosen people all these centuries, okay? As I continue, family, it says here, let the weak say I'm strong, assemble all you, okay? Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Gather yourselves together round about. Thither for thy mighty ones, cause thy mighty ones to come, O Adonai. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. He says in verse 12, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And I just read scriptures why he's coming to judge them. because they sold his people, Judah and Jerusalem, around the world, far away from their own borders. They got to pay for all that. All of it. The gold they stole from our people when we was in our own land. They took our land and everything. They stripped us of everything. Told us we were somebody else. And they're still trying to hold on to those lies to this day. Even though it's getting close to the end before our Father sent our Messiah to take down Psalm 83, these Gentile nations. A lot of them, they're so blind because they don't have the Ruach. They still don't see, the handwriting on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Because they're being moved by these evil spirits. Got them blind. And they're still trying to say, we are not who we say we are. We are not asleep no more. We know who we are, the children of Yah. You know what I'm saying? They know we the children of Yah. But see, the reason why they won't come clean with it is because of stuff. They love stuff in this world that neither one of us can take with us when we die no way. But this is what they love so much. These Gentile nations. They love riches and wealth. Stuff. That's what they love. That's what moves them. Riches. They never get enough, having enough money. Okay? But that's what's going to be their downfall. The love of money is the root of all evil. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow. For their wickedness is great, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Adonai is near in the valley of decision. Okay? The sun and the moon shall be darkened. Okay? And the stars shall withdraw their shining. And you know what, family? I just see where I messed up. I skipped some verses. Just reading this verse right here, 16, Joel chapter 3, remind me that I'm supposed to read some more of Matthew chapter 24. Okay, Matthew chapter 24, verses 21 to 22. For then shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this day, nor ever shall be. And except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. This is in regards to the disciples asking him, when shall be the end of your coming? Shall be the end of the world and your coming and stuff like that. So he said, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. And then these are signs that he said, okay, it's going to get real bad in the world. The food, they say food shortages, famines and pestilence and diseases and stuff like that. And, prices are constantly going up, and we all know that. And so now let me jump over here to verse 29 to 31, family. And you'll see some of what's going on in these verses is exactly what I just read from Joel chapter 3. Okay, Matthew chapter 24, verse 29 to 31. And it says this, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect, that will be Yazar'al, the 12 tribes, from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto the other. Okay? Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. Now, that was Matthew 24. Now, back to Joel chapter 3, verse 16. The sun and the moon shall be darkened. See, it's talking about the same event when our Messiah is coming back to judge the nations. Okay, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Adonai also shall roar out of Zion. That will be the Jerusalem, okay? He's coming back to compensate us for all that we have suffered at the hands of these Gentile nations around the world for centuries. And he's coming back to pay them recompense. They're going to be repaid back for what they have done to Yah's chosen people. Bless Israel, you shall be blessed. Curse Yazar'al, you shall be cursed. It's talking about the so-called Negroes, not the imposters over there in that little strip of land that they call the state of Israel. Not the liars over here in California that call themselves tomorrow's world, the worldwide church of God. Not those liars either. Okay? It says, false prophets will arise during the last days and shall deceive many. And it is going on. But see, you got to get into this word and study it yourself so you won't be deceived. Even check these things out. I say, I'm reading scripture though. As I continue, family. The Adonai also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. Okay? And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Adonai will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Yazar'el. You see what I'm saying, family? He's coming back to compensate us for all the oppression that we have suffered at the hands of these nations of people. Not just America. I'm talking about our people were scattered worldwide. The Negroes are the lowest of the lowest in all these countries, all throughout Central America. The black people they call Negroes, they got certain areas where they don't even want them really mingling with the rest of the people in those countries. I've seen the videos. We're scattered around the world in all nations. You know what I'm saying? We are Israel, Yazar'el, Yah's chosen people. But he says in Matthew 24, he's going to send his angels to gather us from all the nations where we have been scattered by these nations. They scattered us far away from our own homeland. But when he comes with the angels, he's going to gather us back together for himself. Okay? And this is when we will be exalted. And I'll get to that in a minute, family. So shall ye know that I am the Most High Yahuwah dwelling in Zion. He's going to be in the midst of us, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Like they passing through her right now. Okay? No, not during this time, when the real people were back in the land that he gave us and our ancestors forever. And he's going to be in the midst of us. Okay, but it's going to be peace after he take down these nations first. Okay, now family, Revelation chapter 19, verse 11 to 16. And it says here, talking about the coming of our Messiah, signs of our Messiah's coming. Okay, here's more verses. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were the crowns, many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Elohim. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. So the mighty angels are coming with him and the saints. They will have to go back to their graves and instantly be resurrected during this time. Okay? And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations. He's coming to judge the nations. And this will be done in the valley of Jehoshaphat, when he allow all the evil spirits to gather all the world's armies in the valley of Jehoshaphat, so he can have them all right there together. They will be judged, and he's going to destroy all the world's armies and their weapons. Okay? Before he bring peace throughout the whole place. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he shall tread the winepress in fierceness and wrath of Almighty Elohim. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Adonai of Adonais. And you got some people claim that's a tattoo on his thigh. Now, a vesture is a garment that starts up by the neck and it goes all the way down to your ankles. It covers the whole body of a male. That's a vesture. So it's written on the thigh of the vesture, not on his skin. Why would he tell you in Leviticus chapter 19, don't mark a print on your body, and then he come back with tattoos on his? Father Yah nor the Messiah, Elohim, he doesn't, our Father, they don't contradict themselves. Okay? He wouldn't tell us to not mark on our body, and then he come back, our Father sent our Messiah back with tattoos. I mean, that's That's an argument of a demon. You know, people who argue stuff like that, they're being moved by these evil spirits. They don't want to line up with what Yah's word is saying. They want to stay as they are. Let them be your guests. Don't even argue with them. Just let them do their thing. If they, want to keep marking on their body and not repent of all that mess, hey, that's on them. That's on them. But this right here, it says on his vesture of his thigh. A vesture is a garment that starts up here and goes all the way down to the ankle. So it's written on the vesture, the thigh part of his vesture. His garments, not his skin. Oh my goodness. Okay, family. Okay, now moving on over to the real big book. Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. The Testament of Simeon. We're just going to talk about Shemites being exalted, being raised up, okay? Okay, Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, Testament of Simeon, chapter 6, verse 5 to 7, okay? Then the mighty one of Yazar'el will glorify Shem. He's talking about the seed of the promise. Those of us who come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, and Jacob had 12 sons. Okay? And we're the offspring of those 12 sons Jacob had. So that Shem is who he's talking about. Those are from the seed of the promise, from Isaac. Okay? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But when will these things be, family? Check it out, the very next verse. For the Adonai Elohim will appear on earth. That's when Shem will be exalted. That's why I say in the book, in that other message I just did, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. So when our Messiah comes, he's going to take down Esau's kingdom with these Gentile nations. And Jacob will be exalted in the world. And not only that, check this out, family. And he himself will save men. Then all the spirits of deceit, that's evil spirits, will be given to be trodden down underfoot. So we will have control over evil spirits during that time. Woo! I had been praying to Father Yah for this for some time. But it's already written. He already gonna give us that kind of power. And payback is a mother. You dig what I'm saying? Oh man, I already be having dreams that I be putting my foot in demons cracking their butts. You know what I'm saying? They don't even bother me in my dreams no more. And when they do, it be a whole lot of them because they know 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 can't touch me. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't had an experience or dealing with them in no dreams in a long time because so much word of Yah is in me now, and that empowers us spiritually. You know what I'm saying? They don't even harass me no more. When I was weak and only reading out of the 66, they used to have a field day with me, chasing me all the time. But as I read more of these other whole high learning spiritual books of Yah, I started getting stronger spiritually. Now they even scared to come near, they even scared to come in my dreams. Freaking cowards. You know what I'm saying? Just like a bully. When you fight him back, you never got to worry about him bullying you no more. Evil spirits the same way. The same spirit that's in bullies is in these evil spirits. So during this time, family, it says, all the spirits of deceit will be given to be trodden underfoot by Yazarel, by Shem, during this time. Oh man, payback is a mother. All men will rule over wicked spirits. You see what I'm saying? It says, all men. Okay, it says, and men will rule over evil spirits. Men will rule over evil spirits during this time. We will rule over evil spirits. Oh, man. Woo! All the stuff they doing to us now. Oh, payback is a mother. Payback is a mother, family. Then I will arise in joy and will bless the Most High because of his marvelous works, because Elohim has taken a body and eaten with men and saved men. During that time, our Messiah will be eating with us. He's going to be in the midst of us. But all men, in his kingdom, we will all have power over evil spirits. Those giants. You know what I'm saying? I've read in this book, there's so many of them in here, I can't remember which one. It was over a year ago, but it says that just like Yah has blessed Enoch, our ancestor, he is real huge. He got wings, big giant wings. He is a huge figure now. But in the spirit realm, there's a lot of flexibility. You don't always have to stay that size. You know what I'm saying? Like our Messiah here appeared as the height of a regular man when he was walking the earth. But in his full capacity, he can stretch himself to be larger than this whole earth. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more flexibility in the spirit realm. So during that time, it says that, and I read it in here, I can't remember the book, it says that whatever form we asked our Father to make us in, he's going to grant it to us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Oh, man. That's going to be such a great time. So, family, we have nothing but good things waiting for us from our Father Yah. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time. That's all it is. It's just a matter of time before, the time is revealed for us to experience those things. So this has been, family, signs of our Messiah's return. Shemites, Yazar'al will be glorified. I hope you got some understanding in Yah's precious name. So until next time, may Yah bless you, your family, stay safe. My love, and shalom.